I am Valor, son of the great ring of HFY, a soldier of the Lithari dominion, forged in nebula fire, carved from the bones of fallen stars. For 200 cycles, the galaxy taught me one truth. Fear belongs to the weak, and the Lithari are never weak. We were the ones who conquered drifting empires. We were the ones who walked among the lesser species as giants. We were the ones the galaxy called gods. And so, when word reached us of a young, upstart species on a blue water world at the far edge of the Orion Spur, humans, they called themselves, we dismissed them as we dismissed all primitives. So fragile, so chaotic, so mortal. The Dominion expected an easy victory. The High Council sent 1 legion, then 3, then 7, and each time, the humans pushed us back. Not because they were stronger, not because they were smarter, but because they fought with something we could not name. And so I, Valor the Unbroken, was deployed to the human front. Our objective was simple: break them, burn their world, teach the lesser races why gods must be feared. Those were the orders. But on that day, the day I fought beside humans, I learned why even gods tremble at the sound of a human heartbeat. The humans called the battlefield Erebus Ridge. To us, it was designation 7G, a frozen range of jagged stone, carved by ancient winds and hostile storms. Our landing craft pierced the atmosphere like silent daggers. I stood among my squad, 7 Lithari warriors clad in obsidian armor, each towering above the height of a human tank. We did not expect resistance. We expected surrender. But when the drop bay opened, what greeted us was not fear. It was fire. Human artillery screamed across the ridge. Their tanks rumbled like metallic beasts. Their infantry, small, fragile, pink-skinned creatures, held their lines against the storm of our arrival. I remember the first words I ever heard from a human soldier. It came through the rising smoke as we advanced. Incoming hostiles, keep the line. Do not break. Such defiance, such stupidity, such courage. My squad tore through their forward trenches. Their weapons rattled harmlessly against our armor. They fell, they bled, and still, they kept firing. When our forces pressed deeper into the ridge, the Dominion's orbital command issued a directive. Contact established with human 3rd Infantry Battalion. Hold position. Reinforcements inbound. Reinforcements? For what? We outnumbered them 27-1. And still they held. That was the first fracture of doubt. The second came when the humans did the unthinkable. They charged, not in desperation, but with a coordinated fury that stunned even our veterans. They fought like cornered beasts, but with the precision of seasoned tacticians. And leading them, shouting orders through the chaos, was a single human officer, Captain Elise Ward. She stood barely to my chest, wrapped in dust-stained armor, helmet cracked, rifle glowing from overuse. Yet when she looked at us, she did not look at gods. She looked at enemies to overcome. We pushed them back. They pushed us back. Every meter of ground became a battlefield of smoke, fire, and clashing will. Then came the miscalculation that changed everything. A Dominion dreadnought in orbit attempted to cleanse the ridge with a high-energy bombardment. The blast was mistimed. The targeting was off, and the firestorm fell on both sides. The shockwave hit like the fist of a star. Stone shattered. Armor split. I was thrown into a trench, my leg crushed beneath a slab of burning debris. When the dust settled, the battlefield was unrecognizable. Lithari screamed. Humans lay wounded. Everything burned. I could not move. Pain, real pain, ripped through me. The kind of pain no Lithari warrior had felt in centuries. And then, footsteps. Light. Uneven. Human. A shadow appeared over me. A small figure in battered armor. Captain Ward. Her rifle hung at her side. Her breathing ragged. Her eyes, sharp, assessing, alive. She looked at me. The enemy, the invader, the self-proclaimed god pinned in the dirt. And instead of killing me, she knelt. Her hands, small, calloused, trembling, braced against the debris crushing my leg. A soft, almost mocking voice. You're too heavy. Don't die on me, big guy. I stared at her in disbelief. Why? I demanded. Why help your enemy? She grunted, trying to lift the slab. Because no one, human or alien, deserves to be left to die in a firestorm. She failed to free me. Breathing hard, she slumped beside me. And then she said the words that shattered my understanding of war. of strength, of life itself. We can fight tomorrow, but today, we survive. Humans began to gather. Some wounded, some limping, some dragging injured comrades. When they saw me, several instinctively raised their rifles. Captain Ward stepped in front of me. "Stand down. He's injured. He's not a threat." A human private whispered. "He killed Ramirez." Ward didn't flinch. "And saving him won't bring Ramirez back. But abandoning him makes us no better than the monsters we fight." Monsters. The word hit harder than any blow. Another soldier, a medic named Jun Lee, approached and examined my leg. "He's bleeding internally. If we don't stabilize him, he'll die." He spoke it bluntly, not as a threat, as a medical fact. Before giving me an injection, he asked, "Do you consent?" Consent. A concept foreign to warfare, yet instinctively decent. I nodded. Humans worked on me. They cleaned my wounds. They stabilized my leg. They patched armor plates to prevent further bleeding. Not once did they ask for anything in return. Not once did they treat me as less than a being, despite everything I had done to them. When night fell, the temperature dropped to lethal lows. Humans huddled together for warmth. Then Ward spoke again. "Valor, you're cold-blooded, right? You'll freeze." She gestured toward the human formation. "Join us." I, a Lithari commander, found myself sitting among fragile, mortal creatures. Creatures who laughed through their pain, who shared rations with me, who told stories of families, dreams, and futures they still believed in. One soldier leaned toward me. "Hey, big guy, do you have families? Homes? Music?" The innocence of the question stunned me. We had spent generations calling them savages. Yet they cared enough to ask. And for the first time in my warrior life, I felt shame. By dawn, Dominion forces detected no movement and believed the ridge eliminated. A kill sweep was ordered. An orbital lance, strong enough to glass a mountain, began charging overhead. Captain Ward received the intercepted signal from a half-broken comm unit. She looked at her exhausted, wounded soldiers. Then at me. "They'll kill us all," she whispered. Then, against all logic, against all reason, she handed me her rifle, not as a symbol of surrender, as a request for help. "Valor, fight with us." In that moment, I understood the truth. Humans did not fight for conquest, or glory, or divine mandate. They fought because they refused, utterly, absolutely refused, to let the universe decide who lived and who died. When the dust settled, humans collapsed in exhaustion. Ward fell to her knees, breath misting in the cold air. "You saved us," she whispered. "No," I said quietly. "You saved me first." She gave a tired, crooked smile. "That's what we do." Word of what happened at Erebus Ridge spread across the front. Lithari warriors heard how humans sheltered an enemy in their ranks, how they fought through fire and hell not for glory, but for each other, and how a Lithari commander, a self-proclaimed god, fought beside them. Our High Council demanded an explanation. I gave them the truth. Humans are not gods. They are something far more terrifying. Because gods command fear through power, humans command fear through heart, through a will that refuses to break, through empathy that transcends species, through a fire that does not dim, even when the universe itself collapses. And as long as beings like them exist, no empire, no dominion, no would-be gods will ever truly rule the stars. I left the Dominion. I joined the human coalition. I fight now not as a conqueror, but as a witness to the species that made gods tremble. And I end my tale with the words I spoke to the Lithari Council, words that will echo across the spiral arms for generations. And for the first time, the galaxy understood what it truly meant to be human. We rose together, humans supporting humans, humans supporting me, and me supporting them. We charged up the ridge. We tore through Dominion scouts. We destroyed the targeting beacon seconds before the orbital strike. Had we been a heartbeat slower, the ridge, and all of us, would have evaporated. When the beacon fell, Captain Ward shouted, "Push them back." For every soldier who still believes in tomorrow, humans roared. Their voices, small, fragile bodies fueled by something immeasurable, shook the battlefield. I had fought beside titans. I had marched with demigods. I had conquered systems. But nothing had ever matched the fury, loyalty, and fire of humans fighting to protect one another. When the Dominion reinforcements saw their elite retreating from humans, they hesitated. That hesitation turned to fear. And for the first time in my long life, I saw gods flee.